start with a choke here.
Feel free to come close so you can see.
We're going to start with a choke working from the guard. So the guy's inside my guard. Many people, like today, they don't use it anymore. This is like the old style Jiu-Jitsu, handing the collar all the time and training from here. This is one of the most efficient ways. One of the reasons that Margarita, the fighter Margarita, was so successful was because all his guard was played from here. And like the guy who taught me, Carlinhos, he's still today, it's like you see all the champions go there and they can't pass his guard, and he plays exactly like this. See, once you're able to have this down to a science and be able to work the attacks and defense from here, it becomes very efficient. One of my favorite chokes here, you have, every time you grab, in order for you not to get tired, you pass your knuckles over his trapezius and you make elbow heavy. This for the whole time is making him tired because his posture, it's always heavy here and it's not hard on my hand. So I can keep it holding here forever because the elbow is heavy. So that puts a lot of pressure on him. So one of the first things people do right away to get their head up, they push your arm. So they come over here, they start pushing right there. You normally put this hand over and they bring their head up. Like sometimes they like to grab it, yes. Because that's where they find leverage. Otherwise, I keep bringing him down. So he goes over. The first thing I'm going to do, look, I'm going to grab right here, look. And I'm going to yank and start cutting sideways, look. The thing about this choke is, once I pull his arm across, he works exactly like a triangle. Because it's hard for him now to pull the arm back. Pull the arm back. So it's locked. So I use the moment that he comes to push my elbow down, my arm down, and I hold right there. And I start pulling, look, and I square out my hip out for this side, the same side of the arm. Now look, I hook under his elbow and I choke him. Sometimes you get a guy who's very skinny, so it becomes hard to finish him like this, which is not a mouse case. Very athletic fella. So here, I lock it and I grab right over, look, right on the shoulder, and I choke the same way. And you see the arm is still locking here. Like this move you can use even from open guard. Like when you're here, the guy touch your arm, you pull, you bring your lock to finish. And it's a very strong choke. So let's get your partners, let's see how you guys feel. Let's give your partner some love. Come on, guys. I always grab the sleeve, it's better. I was showing the move. My black belt turns to me and says, okay, I'm going to fake I've been choked here. Because this is probably, this move doesn't work, so I'm going to fake I'm being choked.
Let's grab one of these guys.
Okay, guys, now we are here, the same thing. Always remember, like when you go, make sure that your wrist turning, like you really always bringing out the most that you can grab back there, because that it's gonna be hell for him because you keep heavy and the whole pressure. Like sometimes when you're fresh, just checking a move, it doesn't make you tired. But when you're training and this pressure stays there, it's always hard on him. Like, and normally he brings the hand here to do what we just did. The other thing, if he senses the danger, he tries to keep the hand low, I go for the regular choke. Look, if I get it, look where he just did it to defend. Right there, and I have it. So this is an unbelievable setup. Like I wish I knew that when I was competing in Brazil. I choke a lot of people with this. So now the second thing that we're gonna do now, I always go with the grip like this, and I know every gi has a seam right back here. So I always try to have the strongest grip that I can have to do a move, because this way he can't pull it out. So I'm gonna go like this, look, right to the seam, right above his elbow, and this hand deep here, look. Now look what I do. I extend one leg, square out my hip, and bring both knees tight together. Look, I'm up here, put your arm out. You can stand up if you want. see, it's such a strong grip. And you lock his arm. Now, it's like, there was one jiu-jitsu guy who made his whole career just doing this. And you don't understand how many people he beat on gi competitions. And his whole game was here, since the white belt. You see, once I pinch his knee here, we're gonna have a lot of variations from here. Like if he gets up the way that Amal just did it, trying to clear the arm, I just throw him right over, look. And I'm gonna land him mounted, look. Ready to go for the choke, look. Choke or arm, have all the options right there. But we're gonna start slow. We're gonna start finishing with the most simple ways. So we're here, and I extend the same leg as the arm, so my hip goes out, look. Elbow across, the knee slides in and goes right here, look, as my foot rests right on his hip. And then I pinch, boom. You see how this grip was important to keep his elbow in. Now that I'm here, look, I lock it, and I feel that he cannot pull his arm out. I'm gonna start scooting out, look, and I'm gonna push the knee straight over, look, to have it. Right here, lock it, extend the leg, scoot out your hip, bring the knee, one, bring your hip back, lock it, tight right there, make sure that your elbow is heavy because that's what keeps him there. Then you start fixing yourself to step right on the head of his knee, look, to push, to make him lose his balance. So I'm right here, I'm gonna push and bring right over, look. Finishing right here. Let's get your partner. Let's see how you guys feel. You gotta make sure that the guy cannot pull his arm out. So make sure that you're tight on him. I'm sorry, I'm terrible. This way, ask them to sneak it in. Second foot right there. Lock the elbow back. Can you pull your elbow out? I'm scooting out your hip a little bit. Push the knee down. Now look, as you grip in his leg, this hand's gonna break.
The guy came back up.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Yes, that's perfect. Right?
Make sure Thank you, sir.
Like if you, by mistake, you shift your weight from him and you let him too free because sometimes you're too eager to get your collar, the guy is able to get on his floor. So you must always be expecting, especially sometimes the guy's much heavier than you, as you go here, and as you do it, you get on your floor. The first thing that I'm gonna do right away, once he went and I felt I don't have it anymore, I have to switch quick. So I must always, when I try that move, be expecting him to end up right here. There's a choke here that is unbelievable when you're able to pull it out. And most of the time, if you do it right, it's going to work every time. You're going to be able to get it every time. You see? No problem knows this one well. What you're going to do here, as he turns, the first thing that I do, I open the collar. One hand is behind his armpit. The other hand is on the front. So I was trying to get him here. He turned on his floor. So right away, I open and I feed 4 fingers in. This way. Now I go for the second collar that I know that is right here. The second collar, all that I'm going to do is pull down to give more pressure on the other one to choke. Right? But now the important part of this, which looks like an an ordinary choke, is every time you hit, your body wants to go this way to choke. And what happened? It's easy for him to block because with this hand here, he pushes my hip. He doesn't let me go there. He bring the head to the middle. So that's his way of escaping. So what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go look, extend and go to the other side now. You see, once you're here, it's so much pressure and there's no escape now. You see, he's locked. He can lay down here and finish him. I don't care. Wherever we go, like you can even roll. You see, because once my hip block his head, it's done deal. Everybody up to now on Jiu-Jitsu always try to choke this way. So it's easy for the guy. Sometimes he grabs you here, he grabs your hand, he brings the head to the middle, he's out of there. It's much easier to escape, to defend. But when you do this one, look, it's important when you're here, you extend your hand down, leg up. When you do this, look, your hip moves forward. And you have to be on your knee, closer to his body as possible, this leg up. And you're gonna have much more leverage to squeeze. I want you guys to start from here. Don't start on the bottom, so don't get a little confused. Feed the collar. They don't have a medicine for that. I can't breathe here, man. Jesus Christ. I'm starting to believe I'm getting old. Leg up. Extend your arm and push your hand down, look. So your body goes in, look. And you have now. Let's get your partner. Let's give him some love. Come on, man. Let's see how you guys feel. You see now? The grip will be basically the same. But what happens? Sometimes you go together, people try to close, they get in there like this, and they hold your sleeve. Your goal is always find leverage to be able to have more pressure when you choke. So why this choke that we just saw is so effective? It's because even if his hand is in there, you have so much to pull out this way that there's nothing to stop from being choked there. The other thing that people do a lot to defend when they're there, they turn around like this and they try to hold your hand and they stay there. So again, I need to find good leverage to finish him. So basically the grip is gonna be the same. So I'm here and he's defending, I hold my wrist there, I hold him there. The first thing that I'm gonna do, look, I'm gonna go this way, 1, 2. You see, again, look how much leverage I have to finish him. So in the moment that I feel that he's holding tight here on my wrist, he's not letting me go for those 2 moves that we just saw, I know that already. So all I have to do, before I was holding this collar like this, and this one like this, right? Now I'm gonna just keep the one on the neck, and this one is gonna come and hold on his armpit. So the hand was across, it's gonna come and hold right here, look. What you do here is, you move your body slightly towards 11 o'clock here, look. Extend your arm and touch your knee on your elbow. Once you do that, you fall this way, look. And then your neck goes right over to prevent him from rolling. Now, look, just extend your arm. And this is a very common way to do it. It's on, you see, like, because there's so much here to put the pressure, and your legs are pushing him down, it becomes very easy to finish him, even if he's trying to block. To make it smooth, once your knee touch your elbow, this foot here starts sliding out that way, look. And you let yourself fall on your side. So then the leg comes here, quick. So you gotta make sure that the second leg, the one that's coming over his back, is fast. Otherwise he rolls out. So that's why you cannot go like this to get your leg there. It's like as you falling, the leg is right there. Let's get your partner, let's see how you guys feel. Before I dive in. You see, one of the worst things that always happen in the Jiu-Jitsu school is people who sometimes they're here and they try to go for the arm. So they step right here. Because his leverage is so strong. This is the position most common for people to break their shoulder. Because he pulls you down, you go straight here. Boom, your shoulder. I've seen people get hurt like this more than any other position. Because they always, when the guy's on his form, he's thinking about getting the arm lock. And he thinks it's safe to go like that. This is one of the biggest mistakes. The best position to get an arm lock when the guy's on his form like this, it's exactly in the position that we just were before. One hand in the front, one in the back. The hand in the back prevents him from running away from me. And the one in the front prevents him from driving, so he cannot take me down. So I'm here, look. I'm same position. I'm gonna bring the leg up, and I pretend I wanna sweep him that way. He's gonna base. Right. In one shot now, look. Right over. And I have it. What happened is this. You see, any other position, he's gonna be strong, he's gonna have the drive, so he's gonna end up stacking it. But not this one, because when I look what I do, I'm here, I bring the leg up. Now I push the belt down. My knee slides, look. When my knee touches, look how safe I am here now. And look at this, when my butt touches the floor, he can't stop me from bringing him over, look. Then I have it. And this move can be done very fast with the gi and without a gi. It's like straight and you have it, see? I want you guys, gonna be here. Remember, you're gonna lift the same arm as your leg, look, that way. You push, base, hand right here, bring yourself up, let your knee, look, slide to his back, like when I touch the floor right there, look. So your hand now goes to the floor. Once you're here, let your hip fall, he's coming, look. Boom, and you have it. Let's get your partner. Let's see how you guys feel. Try just to get more. Like you want. See, the hand gets deeper. Instead of being too shallow, so sometimes you can give leverage for the guy to pull his arm out. Nice. That was nice, perfect. Let me see that again. The ones who were here yesterday will be able to do it too. So, one of the most efficient ways to defend guard is hand deep in the collar here. Because at any time you can go for chokes, right there, look. It's good to set up arm locks, right there. And there's a move here. Normally when you get your hand here, there's a new move that we do it. The guy is always afraid of the choke. So you start going, look, he brings the hand to defend right away. I'm gonna grab right here and pull across, look. At the same time I extend my leg and scoot out my hip and finish him right here, look. When I choke him, I squeeze my shoulder to my thumb. And I keep the control of this arm right here, look. See, and this is a move that you can use from basically everywhere. I've been doing this, people passing my open guard. Like I'm here, I go like I want to choke, look, his hand comes, it's natural. You pull right in, look, and you have it. And the good thing here too is, once you have here, control the arm, you can hug him here, look, and finish, or you can come right here and finish. See, so he opens up a huge number of opportunities to finish him with a choke there. But I want you guys to do this one, look. Hold 4 fingers right here. Now look, you extend your leg and lock his arm in. Once you have his arm, pull your shoulder into you and the hand. It's important every time you get this, it has to be deep. Like it's a waste of time if you hold it here. If you feel there's no reason for you to do this. Because the whole goal here is to make him tired and to make an efficient tool to finish him, to attack him. You see, if I'm holding here, put your head up. Look, I have not even strength to keep him down. See, if I go here, I make elbow heavy. Now it's a hard work on his back right there. So this is gonna make him start to try to fix himself, and then I start going to attack. Look, 1, 2, finish. Right there. Sometimes your opponent is too skinny, so it becomes hard to finish him here. That's when you hug him, look. Right here, and you squeeze. If that is not working, grab right here and bring right over, then it's done. See? So once again, slow. And always when you reach, make sure that your knuckles pass his trapezius. So I'm gonna go here, and I go this way, look. My hand turns, so I can go as far as I can, look. And finish. Let's get your partner, guys. Come on, let's see how you guys feel on this one quick. And I want to see you guys do the 3 variations.
Oh, yeah?
Squeezing the neck, pushing the back hand. From the guard, and normally gets the guy very quick. See, I'm right here working, and I wanna set him up, but the guy keeps the head that way. I was blocking. The first thing that I do, I start pulling this gi out right here, look. And I always pull the gi out with the thumb down. So once the gi is out, I hold the heel, look. So I keep defending guard, I keep doing whatever I'm doing right here. Now in one shot, in, finish. Once I have this, I'm here, so I know I want to put my hand there, so I can hold even this and his arm together. So I pretend I want to go for the arm lock, he brings himself in, suddenly look at this, I go hip out, push, bring it back in. You see, and it's important, always hip. Otherwise, look, you get stuck right here. Out, in. Look how far I am from him now. I extend him that way, this hip comes right over here, I bring it back, and I have it. The best way always to pull it out, you here, you get your thumb down, stop pull it out. Then you throw right here, look, and just hold the tip and just relax. Sometimes you can hold the arm together, you stay right here. Then you want to go for the arm, then suddenly hit one this way, look, pushing, but just go this way, you see? Whatever side your hip goes, you're going to be fine, it's going to make better. Your mobility right here, look, and you have it. Let's get your partners, let's see how you guys feel with this one. Come on, guys, is there anything that I could help you guys? Technical position or
whatever.
anything like that that could even enlighten the rest of you guys? Any problems that you normally have while you're rolling, that you feel uncomfortable with a position? Or
Do you have a favorite technique for escaping from the guard? Do you have a preferred favorite?
to pass the guard?
To pass the guard.
Yeah, my favorite one that I like it most, I like to pass guard standing. So what I do normally, I put one arm forward, one arm back. This arm back is very important because it's what keeps, this is like a safe belt. It keeps his hip down. Anytime he tries to get me in an arm lock. So for him to do an arm lock, his hip needs to climb up here behind my elbow. So with this, my arms always relax here, but anytime he goes to attack, I press down, right on the hip, to stop him. The second thing more important is never be square. Every time you're facing him like this, you're actually out of balance. The guy can pull you down anytime. So you get yourself always slightly sideways. Pull me down now. There's no way. You can grab my both collars, you won't be able to pull me down here. And you see I put shoulder like this, and exactly the same way that I'm doing here with my positioning. I'm going to bring that leg up first because the arm forward is going to be the same leg. If I open this, if I bring this one up, look, I square myself again, I'm open for arm locks, I'm out of balance that way. So you got to make sure that your body stays sideways for the whole time. So I'm here, I go one, now look, I bring and I get up. Now my whole time, look, I'm driving into his rib. Look how easy I open his guard. Then hand gets inside, now across side. So always sideways, always get your side leg, the same leg as the arm, always to make you easier to get up. You step back here, get yourself up, drive the knee to his stomach, then it becomes easy to, that's my favorite way to open and pass the guard. And what happens, when you get up, his hip normally comes out of the floor when you stand up. So every time you pass, that's why most people pass the guard standing. You don't even realize it's much easier for the fact that the guy doesn't have his hip on the floor, which allows him to defend better the guard. So when you bring his hip up, it's much easier to pass. That's why I think the best way to pass is always, oh, yes. Life used to be simple when I couldn't speak that much English, you know? Like, oh, I'm going to go back to Brazilian books instead of American books. Come on, what else, guys? What else you guys have problems with? Moves that you can't get out, situations that you always have trouble
you have another mount escape? Because we got buck and roll and knee to elbow. What else?
Yeah, like one of the most important things on mount escape that you see is the most basic, and most of the people don't do it. It's like even sometimes I have to think about to do it. See, the most important thing here we always think about buckle up, bridge. Every time you want to bridge, you want to lift him, you need to put your feet on the floor and your knees are up so he can hook under your leg, which gives him a very good, like even I tried it, the hooks are here, look, gives me a hard time right here. The most important thing here is this. One leg fully flat on the floor. You see? Look at now what I do. He can try his best to stay here. He won't be able to. Because look what I do. I keep my leg straight. And now look, I start escaping. Now he can stop. Look. This move is so simple, but at the same time, so hard to do it for the fact, if you analyze, look, when I want to do an elbow escape, his foot gets caught on my knee right there. That's why I want your leg straight. So when you start escaping, look, now where his foot is, in my chin. So he can't stop me from bringing my leg in. You see, there's a cousin of mine, his best move is to mount. He's 6'3", 225, and when he mounts, it feels like you have an elephant in your back. And it was funny because I always go physical too. Like, I mean, here I want to get out, I get out. I just push, elbows in. But with him, it wouldn't work. I felt that. Then right away, this was like right before the last Abu Dhabi, like 2 years ago, that he came over to stay in my academy for a while. So I started seeing, like every time he mounted, the most important thing was me getting the leg flat on the floor. Sometimes, people cross right under here, they cross their feet. So you see, and then you keep trying to escape. Look, you blocking actually yourself here. So the first thing that I would do here, I would step right on his foot, look, too open. Then I make my leg straight. Now hook it under. I don't let you see him hook it under. The leg stays flat for the whole time. It's like the leg is dead. Now it starts working, straight for the other side. So the most important is actually the most basic. But when you stick to this, you're gonna get out from everybody. There's nobody to hold you there when you do this one. You know, what else, guys? You see, when the guy placed the knee in your stomach, what happened here? He's in balance in almost all directions. That's why this position is so effective, because it's like you can't force him out, you can't push. If you touch his knee that is on the stomach, he's gonna go for the arm lock, the opposite arm lock right there. You see? And everything is covered here. Like, and if you turn too much in my direction, he has the choke right there. So if he turns, I get him here. If he pushes my knee, I go here for the arm lock. You see? If he tries just to curl, a lot of times, boom, you go straight for the mount. So it's a very efficient position. There's only one place the guy is completely out of balance. And it's funny because we try to push him on every direction, but the right one, you know? You see, he's solid that way. He's solid back. I can't bring him this way because all his weight's here. But the only place that he's actually out of balance, look, is this way. It's forward. So I'm going to place my knee on his butt and I bridge. When I do this, look what happened to him. I mean, here sometimes I even push his stomach a little. Look, look, look. Then I turn, I have his leg now to put him down. I remember when I made this move, I was fighting the guy, Wally, which was like, I was 150 pounds, and I thought that I was a heavyweight, you know? And he was like 205. So he passed my guard and he placed his knee exactly like this. And this move I made up 1 week before the fight. Every time he placed the knee on my stomach, he was out of there and I was on top. Exactly like this. If you watch the tape back then, I get out every single time he tries to put the knee on my stomach. Because it's the only place that he's going like this, look. He has like I was talking to the guys yesterday, you always need, it's like a building. Your body when you fight is like, you always need something to support. So what happened? Everything is tight, the knees here, everything is here. But the moment that you lean him, look, he's gonna have to post it. When he does that, he has no weight back there. So all you have to do, you do this, extend. Again, every time you get on your forge, don't go this way. Extend, pelvis touch the floor, up. That makes you fast and smooth when you do the transition. So when you're here, you're right there again. Up, breathe. Sometimes you can touch inside his leg here to help a little. Up, look at the hands, look what I do now. Look where he is now. And normally he tries to come back to get on top again, and right down. You see, so this I think is the most efficient way to get out from the knee of the stomach. What else, guys?
How do you be heavy but mount when you're not heavy?
Huh?
What's the best way to stay heavy and mount?
Yeah, it's like the best way to mount is always like people sometimes try to climb up the knees, come all the way up here, but you actually like when you do that. The best way to mount is always this way. So you spread your knees and you touch your feet this way. So this is actually because this way, what happened? The way to hold him there, and now your balance is here. So if you start shifting your hip up too much or moving around, it becomes easy for him to take you out of there. But once you have your hip solid on his hip, you're able to stay there much tighter, and it's much harder for him to escape. And the other thing that you need to do every time you mount is attack. You can't be mount just holding. He has, otherwise his hands are free to try to work his way out. So you must be going for his neck, you must be going for his arm to make his escape routes smaller. He's going to have to use the hands to defend the chokes and attacks. So it's important, like hip heavy and always trying to finish, you know? Okay guys, I believe you guys are tired of me. I'm definitely tired of you. So,
So please just put your head up.
and I hope that